So one of the cool things about Michael and me is that we actually trade and travel at the same time. We're always on the road. I've been traveling this year maybe 90% of the year so far, and we still have 6 months to go, but I still have a couple of trips planned. But we are able to trade and travel really well, which today we'll share with you why and how we do it, how we actually manage our routine while trading and traveling. A couple of tips, they might have to inspire you or to give you some direction on how you should structure your trading and look at things. And we're going to dive right in. Coming to you here this week from Milan, and we have a few things to share about how we trade and travel and things that make sense to us. So let's start with you. Let's start with how you manage your trading while traveling.
Well, we have a pre-production. We're having a little fun with this one too. So let's, there's obviously you're traveling. You're going to have interesting stories. By the way, tell them what my coin TT rate is. How we define that? We talk a lot about that.
Yeah. So my contribution with that the idea was you calculate how many days of the year you're traveling. I believe last year I did 87%. You're at around 30%.
26 and a half.
46 and a half.
Which is basically the number of days, and don't take this wrong way, number of days you're not sleeping in your own bed. How's that? In relation to the year. So, if you're 80% of the time you're in a hotel or just not in your home base. All right. So was close to 80%.
Above 80%.
Oh my God. That's,
yeah.
I'm doing mid 30s now so far this year. And I'm actually feeling a little bit like I think my sweet spot's more like 30. Upper 20s, but it is what it is.
I've been traveling the last 3 months straight. I think I left Bangkok in March 18, which is actually almost 3 months now.
Oh my God, it's great. This is what a trading lifestyle is all about. So I'm not. Yeah. I'm shaking my head. I don't know if I can do that, but it's 30% is fine with me. But as you said, we have some. How we do this is really more important as a trading standpoint, and really how it's not taking away from our trading is actually enhancing it. You want to enhance on that.
Back a few years ago, I used to really focus on trading first. Trading was my main thing before traveling. So I used to be okay with being at a cafe, look at trades, not just look at it more of a way that I want to minimize chart time as much as I can. Because I realize there's other things to do. I have a business to run to, I have videos to do, other stuff to focus on. So for me, it's really in the morning charts. It's the first thing I do. With some coffee ideally helps. To look at the chart with coffee and kind of just plan out my trades for the day. I can usually do my trades directly there. Or sometimes I have to wait till the market open in New York, or maybe in the afternoon or in the evening, which is fine. But at least I know kind of what I'm focusing on, what I have to look at. And then I can place trades later when the market opens or when it's time to place trades. And then I try to, if I can minimize these chart check times, the times that I in the past, will go to the coffee shop, look at the chart in the afternoon, look at it maybe in the evening again, maybe every couple of hours. I try to minimize that as much as I can. So it's once a day. And I'm pretty much done for the whole day after that. So once in the morning, then I'm good. I can go out, go do other stuff, and enjoy the traveling until the I'm in.
See, that's incredibly strong. I love the structures to that. I'm actually learning about this. So I love the structure to it. One of the things I've sort of realized, and whether I'm traveling, by the way, when I'm traveling on my own versus I'm traveling with family or visiting family, two different styles altogether. Yeah. So when I'm traveling with family or visiting family, the sort of element of I'm going to pick strategies that have in my arsenal that are just very ad hoc, very little trade chart looking. Viewing. I'm looking for price action, certain things, breakout of a certain pattern. And you don't have to look at charts for that, all right? So I like that. But I also want available strategies that I could use when they present themselves. So it's not at the 9:30 open in New York time, that's 9:30 at night. Maybe I'm not available. Okay, that's fine. But every strategy has a certain pocket of opportunity. And whether I'm at a restaurant, and I'll give you a little tip here, I have my phone, I'll do whatever. And these apps are great now. I'll just shove them under the napkin. And sometimes I'll be eating, and I hear bzz, bzz. I know I got either fill, target, or stop. That's it. And nobody knows. And sometimes it requires maybe a restroom run just to double check, or do one of the things under the table. But I try to be respectful. But that's really has changed into my strategy. And I actually have good success with it because I'm not monitoring anything. I'm not forcing myself to change something. Very set it and forget it. Scalping in nature. And when I'm available. And usually the combination of those is always present if I use different products. And I'll take advantage of that. I don't want it to engulf my entire trip, but that's really my mission and my job as a traveling trader.
It's strange that you're scalping and I'm actually going on higher time frame when traveling. I feel like higher time frames gives you more room and less need to look at the chart because you're looking at such big time frames that won't change day to day. Or they might change a little bit, but not too much. So I feel like that works well for me. You work better on scalping and into the very short time frame.
Yeah, and I think that the traveling trader, again, this is pretty interesting how we have two different approaches. where this is my available time, and I may not even know that. I may find out like 2 hours later, oh, guess what? I have 2 hours to spare, and maybe I'll just go to a park and I'll just check certain things. Okay, here are my strategies. Here's the scalping ones. Which one's available? The boom, and just enter. So there's really not like a morning prep, things like that. Now, when I'm at home base, I'm very, very strategic. Look at my scenarios, things like that. But I'm on the road. That's sort of where I'm at. Where I'm in a plane, things like that. I have to respect Wi-Fi in certain situations. So I'm very ad hoc. If it shows up, it's very if-then. One shot, one kill. If this presents himself, boom. And it's generally a scalp. If not, I'll just let it go. But I have to be sort of available because of, limitations, Wi-Fi. Most of the time I'm trading on a phone app without charts. And that's been a transition in my trading for a while. So I like it. I enjoy it. I don't look at P&L, but, in the back of your head, I don't know if you do this, but like, are you trying to pay for the trip? Like, I think I just pay for the trip here today. And I try not to look at it, but, and also the time difference is respectful as well. But if I can do that, then I know I'm on my way. Sometimes I'll pay for the trip in the first day or two. And then I gotta say, do I, stop pushing the finger or not? But as a trader junkie, sometimes we just, I will say one last thing. I know I'm rambling here. You always respect whether it's, your spouse or your family. They're always the priority. So I always try to, like, if we're going to a museum or something, which we barely do, but I always try to respect the fact that, look, I'm not going to be, looking at the Mona Lisa and, trading the S&P. I want to respect the people and things like that. And then the cool thing about the business is always, it's 24-hour trading. So there's always another trader.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned you trade on your phone. I trade from your iPad. This is all I carry when I travel, is only an iPad. When I was on videos in this in the past, you can check out in the corner here how I kind of use this up, some things I look at. But the cool thing is I can do this because I've been able to code indicators for my trading. Things that really kind of show me the setups in clear sight. It's either you go in or you don't go in, and it's very clear. So it's also very systematic. So there's no like, is it going to be good enough, or is it not good enough? Or what's in the past? It's very, very clear cut. So I think that makes it easier to travel because you can just pull up your iPad or your phone, like you said, look at the chart, and if there's a dot or like a triangle for me, then I can just go in the market. If there's not, then I just don't trade. And it's a lot easier that way.
These apps are great. I mean, I gotta say, 4 or 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't be recommending this. Now it's like, they're so good. Wi-Fi, for the most part, globally is pretty good. Lower size, of course. But I'm just looking for those little price action nuances. And nowadays, with like an S&P futures, 5-6 points, can pretty much are done for the day. So, and even at small size, where before, you had to really, work to get those because the volatility was. So I enjoy it. I remember a time I was I had a conference in Vietnam last year, and it was one of those like Asian delegations where it's like packed tours, all these things. Then the conference itself, and then at night it's just partying and drink. I don't know how these people do it, right? But of course you have a trade on stuff, and then who wants to go for a drink? And they're like, you're looking at them and you're kind of glancing at your phone, and you want to call your wife, and I'm like, well, no, I want to make it. I want to close a position, like, no, wife, that kind of thing. And I'm like, oh my God, how do I get myself involved in these things? But that's cool. It's like kind of the cool thing. I mean, we're having a little fun here, building friendships and things like that. But it is really fun when you bring this business into living a trader lifestyle. It's amazing how people are just fascinated by what we do. And, if you're interested and you want to do more of that, I think what makes us unique and special is a lot of the companies and people out there in YouTube don't explore this traveling trader thing enough. And we're in Milan, Italy today, and enjoying our time here. 100-degree heat, but we're enjoying it. We love for you to be a part of it, and you can learn more just by following us.
If you want to learn more about traveling, I could talk about this all day. It's stuff I love, stuff I do a lot. I'm always traveling. So if you want to learn more about how we trade and travel or something, if you have any questions, make sure you comment below. We can really go in depth on that. I want to share some tips on that, but I know it's not going to get the most views on YouTube. I understand that. It's not something everyone wants to do. It might be a bit too involving or too tricky sometimes, but let me know if you have any questions below. We will do more videos on this. I can explore, I can add more topics to this. And maybe we can play this in the future. And we will catch you back here in the next video, drinking coffee somewhere pretty soon.
Ciao from Milan, right?
Ciao.
Enjoy. Ciao, ciao.